What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Nasim the Dream, and welcome back to my continuation of the annual 2022 Ntd Awards. It's an absolute pleasure to have you a part of the video. Please go ahead and subscribe and like for more content. It really helps out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now, let's just get into the video. Let's get into the fun. Today's award, I will be awarding the top 5 TV shows I have watched in this year of 2022. And I'm just gonna state the obvious, this list is made upon all the shows that I've actually got to watch in full this year that came out this year. And for my number 5 spot, I'm gonna be awarding it to one of the hottest, one of the best, one of the most exciting animes that is out right now that you can check out. Demon Slayer Season 3. Demon Slayer is a Japanese series written and illustrated by Koyoharu Kotuge, and it continues off from the story that we reach off from the last Demon Slayer movie and continuing on from Season 1. Demon Slayer is just one of those shows that excels at some of the best things that you really go about when it comes to the characteristics and traits that really make an anime what it is. When it comes to the animation, the writing, the narration, the acting, some of it is just some of the best you can ever really check out. And I know this is like one of the most mainstream picks when it comes to some of the animes that are currently hot right now, but without a doubt, with these 13 episodes that I wish were really more longer and I wish we got double the amount that we got in this season, I was just literally on my feet each episode. Tengen is just an absolute beast. His physique is just already just godlike. This dude is just like, you want to look like him. Like, you look at him and see the way he fights and see the way he acts. Like, do you want to be this guy? This dude is so dope. Gotta be real, he's no Kanjuro, but he's still raw. This new season excels in even more gore, even more violence, even more action, and it's just fucking crazy. It's absolute nuts. And for the people that have already seen this season, you telling me that Nezuko isn't that chick though? Dude, she was A1 in this damn season, boy. She had me flipping shit, had me off my seat, spilling shit all over the damn room. She was going crazy, dog. That shit was bonkers. Demon Slayer Season 3, absolutely insane. Had so much fun with this season. It's fantastic. Alright, and then we're gonna graze off into the number 4 spot. And then without a doubt, I'm gonna have to award that to the Amazon original. Fuck! The Boys. This year we were awarded with The Boys Season 3, continuing on from 2 absolutely insane seasons of a universe portrayed into Central America about these like little generic Justice League characters that are absolutely corrupt, and it really brought on when it comes to realistic tropes that we deal on into modern society when it comes to the media, false information, all the kind of things that you already hear on the media, and just when it comes to just trending topics that are an issue in America. They dive into that beautifully on here, and it's kind of scary. What this show does when continuing on with the character development, especially with Billy Butcher, is just absolutely insane. It makes you think twice about if one of these characters originally you view as a good person, are they a good person now? Because it almost seems like everyone here is just fucked up in their own way. And when we continue on off, it's just like, man, it's just, it blows your mind. I think easily who blows out the performance scale on here goes to Anthony Starr as Homelander. He is absolutely a stud on here. He plays the character so well, and he really makes you feel like Homelander is not just like psychotic, but like scary. Like, he makes you like fear the guy, and he's kind of a bitch at the same time, but you would never say that in front of this dude's face. Never in a million years would you ever say anything crazy to Homelander, because that dude will fuck you up. But hands down, what this show already excels at when it comes to the gore, the action, the humor is already so good. And in this season is enhanced tenfold. Everything on here was just amazing. Some of the moments that are just absolutely funny have you literally pissing your pants. Some of the action is absolutely bonkers. Some of the new cast members that they bring in for the season, such as Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, just bring in just a fresh breath of air into a brand new season. Hands down, if you're into superhero shows, and not only that, if you're into mature content, The Boys is just a no-brainer. You have to check out this show. And then for the number 3 spot, we're gonna get into my heart and soul right now, guys. We are gonna get into the one thing I am more passionate about music. Can we guess that? Any guesses? Any at all? That is right, I am awarding the number 3 spot to the brand new show that came out this year from the Star Wars universe. ANDOR. ANDOR takes place post-genocide of the Jedi Order and during the reign of the Empire, right before the build of the Death Star and right before the build and birth of the Rebellion. What makes ANDOR such a special show to me personally is one of the desires I've also really needed and wish I would always have when it comes to the tale of the Star Wars story is having something that feels super realistic to what's actually going on in Star Wars. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about this show, and I get why some people are a little bit iffy about it or just certainly just don't like it because they don't really think it feels like Star Wars. And to my understanding, that means that they don't have enough, I don't know, lightsabers or enough like sci-fi conflict or just characters or maybe even just like blaster fights. I don't really know what they necessarily needed, but I think I know what they mean by this doesn't really feel too Star Wars. But the thing that's absolutely true about the Star Wars story that I think needed to be dived in way more deeper, I just never thought that Disney or whoever would have owned Star Wars would have actually done it eventually. They made the Star Wars viewer actually feel the heroism and terror behind the Empire. Guys, we need to think about this. The Empire killed thousands upon thousands of Jedi. They committed genocide, and they are oppressing an entire galaxy. There is nothing happy about that. And this is a brink pinnacle moment into the entire Star Wars timeline because of how much the Empire has the upper hand. What this show does, what the cast does, such as Diego Luna plays as Cassian Andor, and Stellan Skarsgård that plays as Luthen Rael, they just absolutely blew my mind when it comes to the performances about characters that I didn't necessarily think I would really care about that much. As much as I did really care about Rogue One, and how much I really do love that story, and like that story really does feel like Star Wars, especially when it comes to the fan service delivered in here. There's not really that much delivered into this season, but it was absolutely unnecessary because what they did with this show, what they try to display and present to the viewer, it's like, this is actually a conflict beyond comprehension of how you can exactly even live in a free world. They displayed it perfectly on here. I thought this show, hands down, was the best written Star Wars story we have gotten in this entire brand new saga ever since that Disney purchased Star Wars. And this one, the writing material is hands down flawless. It is what it needed to be. It is what it needed to feel like. And every moment in this show, especially towards the end of it, it just was just diabolical. So much sorrow felt, and that's what I needed to feel. That's what I needed to see for Star Wars, because this is the truth behind it. The Empire is terrible. Beyond terrible. Beyond what you even think is terrible. Listen, if you like shows or movies that are just absolutely action-packed with not a lot of dialogue that they just move right into the good parts, you're probably going to hate this show. But that is the thing that I absolutely loved about this show, especially because the routes that it takes that are just so risky, but how well it really took them. But might I say, Disney, please give us more like this, because this is just a masterpiece into Star Wars. All right, we are going to go to number 2, the number 2 spot in my top TV shows of 2022. A show that had me at the edge of my seat, episode by episode. Performances were absolutely prestigious. The show that brings in another light to a viewer that was already such a big fan of the original piece. Hands down, the number 2 spot.
It remembers names.
Goes to House of the Dragon. Now, House of the Dragon is a spin-off of the notorious huge TV show off of HBO, Game of Thrones. If you watch Game of Thrones, it might sound crazy to you. I think this definitely beats season 1 of Game of Thrones. Now, I get it. Spoiler alert coming your way. It's kind of hard to beat the surprise shock of Ned Stark dying in season 1 of Game of Thrones. That's just going to be tough to beat no matter what. Each of these 10 episodes delivered something that I was already so infatuated by, especially because of what the cast puts on the table. The performances that are just absolutely stellar on here when it comes to Emma D'Arris as our protagonist, Princess Rhaenyra. We got Olivia Cooke as Alicent Hightower, Paddy Considine as Viserys, and then the badass Daemon Targaryen played by Matt Smith. Oh my god, this lineup right here is just dream team type of energy, y'all. They murked each episode that they even had a scene on. One thing that I will say that I was kind of a little bit bothered by, that I really wish I had more of, is more of the younger cast that we got in here when it comes to Millie Alcock and Emily Carey that played as young Allison and young Rhaenyra. I did really love the performances, and I really wanted more from them, but this show, as it goes on, it does fast forward pretty quickly, and to the point where they were actually grown, and I think at a certain point, I think it's about maybe over 10 years. And King Viserys, dude, King Viserys is a G. That dude is dope. He's a good king. That dude is great. This story just had me itching for Sundays, man. Like, the replay value is almost immediate. There's not a single person that I know that has watched the show that didn't immediately double play the episode right after it finished. House of the Dragon is just fantasy galore, and it's easily a 10 out of 10 show. I had no problems with any moments on here, especially that last episode. You are starving for that next season by the last episode. It's time for the number one. I think we're going to go with the number one spot. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one spot of my list, hands down, goes to HBO's original EUPHORIA Season 2. There is just not enough I could say about this show. I even made a video earlier in the year at the end of the show making a full review about my thoughts and opinions about EUPHORIA Season 2. EUPHORIA is a show that just dives into something so stellar and so real when it comes to the real life horrors that high school children have to deal with in modern society today that you think are kind of unrealistic, and I disagree. The relevancy of what these kids and what these characters go through in this story is absolutely horrifying. There's moments where it can really get you engaged, get you so excited, even get you a little bit off your feet and just totally hysterically laughing. But goddamn, there's some moments that are just like, they're too real in this show. And this show, the Starlight, goes to Zendaya. Now, thankfully, Zendaya was awarded the Emmy for Best Actress in a Drama this year because she earned that. She does something with the character Rue in this that I feel like not too many people, not too many actresses or actors at her age could really do. She's an absolute messiah on here. Your eyes are glued to her once she hits the screen, and she is just mesmerizing. What she does with the Rue character is just, it's unbelievable. She earned that title of Best Actress of 2022, hands down. And if we're even going to talk about development of what the characters do, especially when it comes to some of the cast, Sydney Sweeney is really another standout on this one, as well as Jacob Elordi as Nate Jacobs, which is already a very troubling character. And man, he just nails it. I mean, some of these guys you just absolutely love more and more, and there's characters that you even hate, that you hate more and more. Man, these folks really just took my breath away. There's so many moments with each of the cast members that I absolutely loved. Everyone on here, bit by bit, was just amazing. The title of teen drama is just so intimidating because you think it's just gonna be just so bleh. Countless reactions to people that felt that same way that I tried out the show took it back immediately because it is stellar. It is a masterpiece. EUPHORIA is just one of those shows that you can't help to feel like the written is just so perfect. The cast just develops more and more skill as they grow. Not to mention that each actor and actress that are assigned their characters on here truly do care about the development for their characters, especially when you hear them talk after the episode about how they feel about what happened in that episode. I was blown away with this season. I love EUPHORIA, hands down. It is easily like not only in my number one spot for 2022 list of shows that I watched this year, but it's one of my top favorite shows of all time. And guys, that is my top 5 list of my favorite TV shows that I have watched this year. Let me know down in the comments, what were your favorite TV shows? How did you feel about my list? Did you watch these shows? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like the video, subscribe for more content, be in tune for more videos that are coming up. I got a lot more on your way. We'll catch you in the next one. Deuces. Still don't